Hello, hello everyone. I hope that you are all doing well. Today I'm going to be talking about some items in my collection that I think are pretty unique. I feel like in the sea of makeup that's out there right now, a lot of things are kind of the same but different. You know, if you like one thing but can't find it, you can often find something very similar to it by not looking really that hard. So unique makeup, it's kind of hard to find nowadays, and this video was prompted, I have to admit, by the new Rare Beauty highlighter. I was using it and thinking, oh my, this really is different than anything else. What else in my collection is different than from other things that I've tried before? So I don't think any of these things have dupes out there, but you know what? There might be. So let me know down below if you have tried something that is a dupe of these products. When I say dupe, I'm talking about an actual dupe, not something that's like an alternative. You know what I mean? So for today's tea of the day, can you guess? I couldn't break away from my matcha latte. And look, the green, it goes with my green outfit today. Oh, it's wonderful. Okay, so let's start with that Rare Beauty highlighter. Actually, looking at all the items I've picked out today, I think that the majority of them are indie brands. I think technically Rare Beauty is an indie brand, right? Because it is Selena Gomez's brand. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is owned by a big umbrella brand, but the majority of the items in here are indie brands. Anyway, so back to this highlighter from Rare Beauty. I don't know if I really need to talk about it that much. I feel like it has kind of taken over. It's very, very popular right now. If you have a chance to go into a Sephora and swatch it, I highly recommend trying it. And interestingly, the past several Sephoras I have been into, I've been doing some traveling, and whenever, if I can, I like to go into the local Sephoras to see if I can find certain items that are always sold out near me. Anyway, I always like to swatch the Rare Beauty highlighters. Even though I've tried this one, they're just so fun to swatch. But often, the testers of these are like completely gone. They have been swatched so much that you can't swatch it anymore, which is unbelievable to me. You guys know how much it takes to use up a highlighter, and for it to has been used that much just in store is wild to me. Anyway, if you get a chance to test this, try it out. It really does have a very different texture. It's ultra smooth. Like, you put your finger in it, and I've heard so many people say at first that they think it's a cream. It almost feels like its smoothness feels like a ColourPop Super Shock highlighter, but without the squish. Like, it is that smooth. It's like just ultra silky. And of course, when you guys have seen so many people try this on their face, ultra pigmented. Look at it blended out. If you use a very light hand, you can get that gorgeous wet looking sheen, and it doesn't have a very deep base to it. So, or actually pretty much any base. Like, I turn my hand, maybe there's a tiny bit of a pink base to it, but not much. I feel like a lot of people could wear this one. I personally like a very sheer base and a highlighter and then it flashes when you turn your head, kind of like this one from Natasha Denona. See how it's like clear when I'm looking straight ahead? Turn my face, there it is. But this one really is different in terms of its texture. I've got to give it to Selena. I think that it's a home run. It's fantastic. I want at least 2 other shades. I think the deepest gold one won't work for me, but the other 2 will. So eventually I think I will get them. They're pretty special. So something that I am wearing on my eyes today, the eyeliner. I have to talk about this eyeliner. It is so fantastic. So this is from Kaleidos Makeup. So Kaleidos always makes good makeup. Like, all their stuff is always a home run. They always are in it to win it. Like, Kaleidos Makeup does great stuff. So what's so special about these eyeliners? So for one thing, they're ultra creamy. I have the shade Limelight. You barely need to draw it on your skin. And they're multi-chrome, so you're gonna get different colors as you turn your eyes. Obviously, this one is different tones of green, but also when I look at it, I see flashes of like kind of a periwinkle blue. It's very beautiful. The thing that makes this extra special though is how long wearing it is. You guys, I just put that on my hand. It's gonna stay there. All right, until I scrub it off. That just means at the end of the day, you have to be prepared to really spend some quality time with your cleanser, a warm washcloth to get this off your eyes. But when it comes to eyeliner, I like something to be no budge. So for the fact that not only is it absolutely like gloriously beautiful, it stays all day. This is a really neat product. I want the other colors in this as well. So they have some really pretty blues. I think there's purple, another shade of green. Like, they've got a great range of these. I hope they bring out more just because they are pretty special. Talk about a brand that everything they put out is unique and different, and that is Phytosurgence. They don't do anything like anybody else. or like everybody else. But I specifically want to talk about their blushes. So I only have one of their blush shades. This is the shade Inferno, and I know I've mentioned this a lot on my channel, so bear with me if you've heard me go on about this product. So first of all, the texture is super, super interesting. Imagine like a melted chocolate texture. That's exactly what this is like. It's very, very melty. Put your finger in there. You barely need any because it is so ultra pigmented. But even though it's ultra pigmented, you don't really have to be scared to use it because it does blend out beautifully. They do sell a really nice brush as well, but you can just use your fingers. But it blends out to be a soft matte, which matte blushes I'm not always excited for because sometimes they can just be kind of boring. These are the opposite of boring. All their colors are really interesting. They don't do anything that's too on the nose. Everything is really nuanced, and this blush will last me the rest of my life because it is so incredibly pigmented, and they do last a long time on my cheeks as well. Okay, let's talk about something that is definitely not from an indie brand, and I have talked about this a lot, and I'm not the only one. This has been a favorite product for a lot of people for a long time, but it had to go in this video because it truly is unique. I don't think it's been duped yet. This is from MAC. This is the Studio Radiance Face and Body. So if you've never heard of this before, I would like to tell you about it. So you know that there is a sea, like an actual sea of sheer, like barely there face products out there right now. It's very much in style. But what makes the MAC one so different is that as you rub it with your hands, the warmth, okay, what's the technical term? I don't even know how to like describe it. It's almost like it activates it and all of a sudden becomes tacky. Like it just now happened where I felt it change from super liquidy to kind of tacky. I really kind of have to rub it to spread it. And what that means is it has incredible long wear. This wears for me like really, really amazingly throughout the heat. This does not melt off my face. And even though it's a sheer product, especially if you apply it with a brush or a sponge, if you use your hands to rub it in to the point where it gets kind of tacky like that, it does have more coverage. Like it's just not just a skin tint. It's got that extra cool technology in it that makes it last a really long time on the skin. And I don't want to make it sound like it like stays sticky because it doesn't. It sets down just fine. And even though it's a sheer product, you really don't need much to accomplish a lot with this. Has a dupe been made for this? I don't think so. Tell me though, if you have found something just like it. Let's talk about another blush. And this is one that, yes, I know I've mentioned this a lot on my channel, but I can't get over its uniqueness. You guys know I have tried a lot of blush. Now granted, there's a lot of cream blush I haven't tried. I mean, there's so much out there, but I still have tried a lot. And so I keep coming back to this one as just being super unique. This is the cream blush from Kjaer Weiss. I always tell people, if you want to try Kjaer Weiss, buy one of their refills. They sell it in this gorgeous metal packaging, but it makes it like extremely expensive, like super luxury, but you can just buy the refill. And I like to get it on sale again, so then it's not quite so expensive. So let's talk about why this is so special. For one thing, the shade. So this is the shade Inner Glow. They describe it as a taupey shade, and it kind of has this weird kind of in-between shade where it is a blush, but it's also slightly bronzy and slightly contoury. Like it is a really, really interesting shade, and the formula itself is also really interesting. A lot of pans of eyeshadow like this are really, really emollient, which I enjoy. I think that's fun. This, it's kind of melty when you put your finger into it, but I wouldn't call it emollient. It beautifully blends in, but it's still like the opposite of sticky and not emollient really. So I don't even know how they did that to make it so melty without it being really emollient. But just look at that shade that left on my hand right there. That is so unique. And the shade Inner Glow does have some luminosity to it as well. So this one is not matte. It's beautiful. It leaves a great skincare glow across your skin. I have, as yet, not purchased any more Kjaer Weiss blushes. There's just been so much to try. But this is on my list, like in the back of my mind, of truly glorious cream blush. I probably will eventually pick up another shade or two. Okay, we have to talk about eyeshadow. Should we talk about the one that I'm wearing on my lid today? Oh, so fun. I wasn't planning on wearing this today because I have to go outside in the rain for an extended period of time today. I wasn't planning on really wearing any eyeshadow, but as soon as I started pulling these out, I couldn't help it. I had to put it on my lid. So this is from Glam Shop. So I originally tried Glam Shop when a subscriber sent me a super generous gift of like the most beautiful sparkly package you've ever seen, you guys, full of the most beautiful glittery eyeshadows. And by glittery, I don't mean like glitter, it's just micas. And these shadows are still among the best and most unique in my collection. The one that I'm wearing on my lid today is this one. I believe that it's called Fluff. Now, since it is a Polish indie brand, I can never remember the English names for all of these, but the ones that I mentioned, I will make sure and link for you if they're still available. I know this one is because I keep linking it. I've mentioned it in more than one video. So I know that twinkle shades right now are all the rage. I feel like all of the brands are doing it, and I enjoy the twinkle shades generally. In fact, I can name a bunch of palettes off the top of my head that have had twinkle shades in them lately where I have loved them a lot. Tom Ford, Lorac, Beauty Bay, Causemetics, Kaleidos, Kjaer. But these really do stand out. I think that the ones that come closest are Kjaer, but still Glam Shop has the best. So if you enjoy a sparkle, but not a thick, heavy sparkle, you're after the super, super micro mica, but you still want intense sparkle, this is the brand for you. So the texture of them is just so, so satisfying. They're so soft. Like, it feels like you should be able to just push your finger all the way through the pan. I mean, I've never done that, but they're just so, so soft. And the pigments are just so absolutely glorious. I mean, this one obviously flashes yellow. Every time I wear this, I have someone comment on what I'm wearing. Same with the shade next to it. I think this is called Moon Dust, maybe. Again, I'll have it linked. But this one flashes lilac purple. Oh my gosh, they really are the best. They are absolutely glorious. Let me swatch the other ones that I had in there as well. So this is Bella. Holy, ooh. I think this one is called Beetle. Love it. And this is Magic. So sparkly shades are always so hard to show on camera. I just want to let you know that I actually had a hard time getting started filming today because I kept getting mesmerized by these eyeshadows. I literally was just sitting here staring at them. They were so beautiful. I was like, I need to get going today. I had to like close it and put it away so that I could actually film. They're absolutely mesmerizing. I mean, these two up here especially. So look, if you are after kind of the best micro sparkle twinkle shades, Glam Shop has them. Now let's talk about another shadow that I think is so unique and again like ultra wow in your face. In fact, I think this eyeshadow, out of all the eyeshadows I have in my entire collection, if you're gonna wear this eyeshadow, I think you ever hear that whole people see like your outfit before they see you when you walk in the room, like everyone's gonna notice your eyeshadow first if you're wearing this shadow. This is the shade Unexpected from JD Glow, and it is something special. Like, it just hits different. I really don't know what they did to make this so outstanding, but this shadow is like impossible to do understated with. Like, a lot of the ones I enjoy, if I take just a little bit of it and tap it on, I'm like, ooh, that's just like the perfect little sparkle. This doesn't do a little sparkle. The pigments in here are like larger mica sparkles for one thing, so it's definitely not a little micro sparkle situation. Very, 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 very reflective, but I mean, that's absolutely wild. It looks actually molten, and it's the same in the pan. It looks like I'm holding a little pan of melted, I don't even know, it's not even like gold, not melted gold, because it's way too glittery for that. Melted gemstones, like, I don't know. But it's ultra pigmented, incredibly reflective. This is not something I can wear very often, but it is so unique in my collection, and I'm so glad that I have it. Laura May Beauty talked about this one forever as being like the best single shadow. It really is stunning. Just be prepared, right? You put this on your eyelid, you will be making a statement. And honestly, right now, I feel like I could bathe in this. I think it's so beautiful. This palette right now is just, oh, glorious. Let's talk about the Sydney Grace formula. So I could have pulled out a bunch of my singles, but I decided to use my Enduring Love palette today. So I know Sydney Grace, we all know and love Sydney Grace, but they do truly have a unique pressed pigment formula. So the pressed pigment formula is the one a lot of people talk about as their shimmer formula. They actually do have just a regular shimmer formula, which is kind of like this one up here, where it's just kind of a regular shimmer. I mean, it's pretty, but it's, you know, nothing different really. Where they really shine is their pressed pigments. So it's these. What makes them so unique, so when you swatch them, it's really easy to overdo it. They are super, super pigmented. I remember the first time I swatched these, I got way too much, and I was able to like swatch all the way around my wrist just because these shadows are so pigmented. And they feel kind of thick when you pick it up, kind of thick, which normally I don't like that sort of feeling because I feel like a thick eyeshadow can really just look kind of heavy on your eyelid. But honestly, these, I like to sheer them out, and they have the most beautiful formula that when sheared out looks like a cream formula on your lid. You can of course wear them not sheared out and you will get a super beautiful intense look. Like Sydney Grace does not hold back in their shimmer formula, and I know it's kind of hard to show on camera the texture, the really beautiful creamy texture of their shadows. I can't get over that one. Oh, isn't that pretty? That's the shade John from this palette. But if, like me, you're not always after an incredibly shiny eye, you just want something that looks really kind of creamy and healthy, these shimmers blend out to the most beautiful texture. And that is why this palette will last me an eternity, because it looks like I've barely touched it, and it's because I don't need very much. Today I actually am wearing a shade from this palette. I decided to throw one of the mattes in my crease. I think I'm wearing the shade Juliet through my crease. So I don't think I've ever tried another formula quite like Sydney Grace's pressed pigments. Okay, now this last product, I'm wiping off my fingers. This last product, I know some of you might kind of roll your eyes at me and be like, come on, we've heard about this for so long already. And I know, but I feel like, look, I had to mention it because it is unique. So from Pat McGrath, her sparkly shimmer shadows. So this is the Divine Rose palette, and this sparkle shade right here is pretty special. And I know I've been showing you some beautiful sparkly shades already. Why is this one so special? Well, I'll tell you. It is an incredibly intense sparkly shade. Again, I'm not sure if I can properly even show you how intense it is. It's probably not showing up as well as I was hoping, but this is the sort of sparkle shade you just tap, barely tap it all over your lid, and it actually stays. I did have someone tell me they had really bad fallout with theirs, which made me so sad because I have had such good success with this formula sticking to my eye, unlike so many other formulas that I have tried. One thing I can say that might help is try pressing it to your eye instead of swiping. If you're gonna swipe, absolutely glitters will fly everywhere. Try pressing it without any swiping, and that might help the glitter fallout situation. But these are also larger glitters. It's not like a twinkle shade like the ones from Kjaer or from Glam Shop like I was talking about before. This is definitely going to be a super glam sparkle moment. And I've tried a lot of glittery eyeshadows, and I think Pat McGrath does have something different here, something that I don't have anywhere else in my collection. Usually I just barely tap my finger in there. Like it's really got a lot of presence. So there you have, I think I got 9 products, unique products in my stash. Tell me, what do you think are like the unique products in your stash? Things that you don't think are dupable or have been duped yet? To me, those are the most exciting, to find all those unique products. And do you agree with me? Do you think that these are different than what a lot of things are out there? I always love hearing your guys' input. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Again, I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one soon. Bye!